I can remember years ago when I was struggling in my marriage. I had an addiction to this game, World of Warcraft. I'm sure many of you have heard of it. And I had to make a decision in that moment in my life where I needed to get rid of it because it was destroying my marriage. And in some ways it was destroying other aspects of my life too. So I had made a decision back in 2008 to just completely quit playing it cold turkey. And since then, many have tried to get me to play it again. I absolutely refuse. But it was difficult because at the time I was leading about 250 people through the game. I had a guild, I had a website, I had documentation, a ranking structure. I had turned it almost into a complete business. So I had a lot of investment, a lot of hours put into this thing. So for me, it wasn't easy to just quit. But I did, and as a result, it made things a whole lot better in my marriage going forward. But the point and the lesson that I learned from that experience in my life is that if a person is not willing to change, if they're not willing to do things differently, they're never going to experience becoming the best version of themselves. They're never really going to experience an impact and a real lasting difference being made in their lives and the lives of others around them. So I want to challenge each of you today to look at your lives, look at the decisions you're making, look at the way that you're spending your time, and ask yourself, what do I need to change? It's funny and interesting. Well, actually, it's not quite funny at all, how few people are willing to make drastic changes in their life, or even small changes for that matter, that can actually go a long way. It's that resistance to change that really, really makes it difficult for people to become better, to really make an impact. And somebody once related it to me this way several years back as I was going through another challenge here at the office. Think back to the days of blacksmiths when they used to have to forge swords. You would end up with this hunk of metal that you wanted to shape into this beautiful object or beautiful weapon. That metal would have to be put into a fire and melted down, banged out with a hammer and shaped, and then it would cool off. They'd have to put it back into the fire and then continue to shape it. And as time went on, it would become difficult to actually shape this thing and make it into what you were trying to form it into. But eventually you would get it into that shape, you would polish it, and it would look absolutely beautiful. Life is a lot like that, right? We have to go into the fire, we have to get banged out, shaped out. But again, when people resist that forging, when people resist the fire, when they resist what's trying to be shown to them in those moments in their life, that's when they struggle. That's when they live out the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Rather than resist that change, allow yourself to be shaped into the beautiful object that you are created to be, the beautiful person that you were always meant to be. Don't resist change. Become something better. Sometimes we go through the same experiences over and over again because we're meant to learn something, and instead of learning what we're meant to learn, we continue to resist it. Don't do that. Allow yourself to change, and only then will you begin to experience the true impact and true beauty of being the person that you are meant to be. And not only that, never forget that when you change, when you become better, everybody around you experiences that impact as well. Your family, your friends, your coworkers, all of your loved ones. Don't allow that opportunity to pass, because one day you may wake up and realize that your opportunities are gone. You may be at the end of your life. You may be dealing with something now that makes you realize that you've experienced a lot of loss and that your time has run out. So rather than waiting until that time comes and asking yourself, why didn't I do it differently? Take your opportunity now while you still have it. Don't resist. Allow yourself to change, to become all you were meant to be, so that you can experience the true grace and beauty and just joy of being who you were meant to be, and allow others around you to experience that as well. Y'all have a blessed day.